Hello, my name is Brooke Searing. I am a junior in CEM, expecting to graduate in May of 2020. For my second internship experience, I worked with Metro-North Railroad, a commuter railroad serving the New York metropolitan region. I interned in the Maintenance of Way Structures Department, working on various bridges, tunnels, culverts, and walkways along the railroad's right-of-way. Maintenance of way is the upkeep of railroad assets, so when I started, I was uncertain that I could fully apply what I am learning in CEM to the job. However, I was quick to learn that although I wasn't working on a completely new project, maintaining the infrastructure encompasses plenty of construction ideas. As mentioned, I was able to work on plenty of different smaller projects. One project that I worked on that became a reality was a ballast retainer. Ballast is the gravel you see on the side of the railroad tracks that holds the structure of the track in place, as well as serves as drainage. Most short-span bridges often have a ballasted deck to keep the track in place. As track gets regraded and replaced, new ballast is laid on top of the old ballast. The accumulation of excess ballast and subsequent movement of trains will cause the ballast to fall over the sides of the ballasted deck bridge. It was my responsibility to design a retainer that would prevent the ballast from falling over the side of one of Metro-North's bridges. On the screen is an excerpt from one of the plans I drew. I didn't get a picture of it going in, but I saw the installation of the ballast retainer I designed on a bridge in Paulding, New York. My greatest triumph while interning at Metro-North was developing a tracking system for issues along the right-of-way. My supervisor once said that his job is not a sprint but a marathon, in that he has more tedious work than challenging work. Something my department was responsible for is keeping track of and addressing various issues along the right-of-way. These issues would most commonly be referring to sections of broken fence, but other issues like broken grade crossings and graffiti would be included as well. Each issue had been recorded in a report form, but often these forms were poorly filled out or incomplete. As part of my experience, I was responsible for creating this massive Excel spreadsheet that listed all the issues from the past 5 years. I used commands in Excel to create a folder system that when a new issue was put into the system, it would create a folder within the Issues folder that would contain the original issue, report, and pictures of the issue. Part of this task was to visit each issue mentioned in the reports in order to determine their completion status. In total, there were roughly 150 different issues scattered along the 800 miles of track that had to be visited. By the end of the summer, I was triumphant in visiting each of these issues, photographing, and updating their status in the spreadsheet. This was a particularly daunting task, but I was informed that the system developed by me is continuously used to this day. The biggest lesson I learned during this experience was the importance of following something you are passionate about. I've always been into trains, and having the opportunity to work for a railroad was incredible. In the previous summer, I interned with a general contractor in Los Angeles. The project I was working on was a 9-story adaptive reuse project, converting an old office building into condos. Although it was an interesting project and ultimately an enjoyable experience, vertical construction wasn't something I really wanted to get into. Working at Metro-North provided me with an excellent opportunity to gain experience with something that I am really passionate about. I cannot remember a day that I was there when I wasn't excited to come into work, which to me is something of the utmost importance. Thank you.